Oh, just do a chromatic scale to warm up. Oh,
That's more
oh.
that's more of an ohm there, I think.
Yeah,
I
should do microtonal.
mhm. I want to learn
Oh,
that thing where you can do like three voices at once. That's pretty hip.
Tibetan throat singing, I think it is, or something like that.
Right, but just
Mongolian, is that it? Yeah,
maybe both.
I can like almost do it, but I haven't really tried.
The Tibetans probably stole their religion from Mongolia.
Is that it?
No, it just sounds like
Uh.
you're angry. Okay.
Cookie,
Well, there we go. The Cookie Monster is a Zen
cookie.
monk. He is pretty zen. He's focused. They've unzenned him. See, they've
There's nothing zen about Cookie Monster. These Cookie Monster is like the farthest from zen you could possibly get. He's literally just like a hunger id machine. Like the only
right.
way he could be less zen is if he like violently fucking killed people.
He's single focused. That's that
Yeah,
makes
I
him
get. I
zen.
mean, it does it. So it's
He's
like
an
if you're just like a murderer who cares about nothing else, are you zen? That I guess then you're like,
if
but
your
taking
entire
cookies.
if your entire being, well, they've screwed the left wing conspiracy screwed him up in the past 20 years because now cookies are sometimes food and he eats vegetables too. He's not zen anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So like, so basically, vegetarianism is like throws a wrench in zen.
He was
Is what you're
on
saying.
Stephen Colbert or something and said he had like a cookie problem back in the 80s. But he showed him he could still eat a cookie and then he ate a cookie on camera.
It's like they have to do that. It's that is the left wing conspiracy. Like they have to basically try and make their bad characters do something right, and it is just completely ridiculous, laughable results that just make them all look silly.
There's actually a song called Cookies Are Sometimes Food now.
Okay. I
But
mean,
I
protein
don't
cookies. You
I
can
don't
have
so
protein cookies.
I don't support that song.
I
Yeah.
eat protein cookies sometimes.
I think the Cookie Monster may have lost his way. Well, I have my full-size Cookie Monster puppet, which I sometimes use to threaten to murder Maddie in horrible ways.
I'm sure he has it coming. Like maybe he has some cookies.
Because he's like, "Do you have a cookie?" And he's like, "No." He said, "If you do not give me cookie, cookie will eat your face." And when you are in an
Zen.
when you are in an alley years from now and you have forgotten about the Cookie Monster, Cookie will be there and he will come down the alley and Cookie will eat your face off. And then Cookie will come to your funeral and Cookie will piss on your grave.
From everything you guys have told me about Maddie, that sounds like it might actually bother him. I don't really know.
No, I don't think you can bother him that way. Oh, yeah.
Good.
I fixed the Jaguar. That's cool. I finally got out some screwdrivers and
Cool.
ran the risk of. I did notice once because I always heard, oh, bridges are fussy. So once I started looking up
Mm.
information, looked at the bridge, I was like, whoa, this bridge is fucked. So
Huh. I think like guitars are I've barely ever done anything to guitars. Like the absolute dumbest, most horrible, stupid thing I ever did was basically wanted to buy new pickups for my um Epiphone, and I sort of like somehow I roundabout went and just sort of bought like a medium priced pickup from this like place, and it basically was like the same. I just replaced the pickups on the guitar with something of like the same quality
oh, what
after
fun.
doing like after working on it for like an hour. And now the knobs don't work right anymore. Like one of the knobs doesn't do anything, and one of them is like a volume, but it's supposed to be tone or something. I don't know.
Seriously, the bridge on Jaguars are just like madness.
I mean, yeah,
It
you don't
looks
want to run into a Jaguar on a bridge, right?
right. If you can, because it's got all those little screws and shit, right? And
No.
they rattle
Okay.
around, but you can see it's like kind of up because you think, oh, so like one side was completely flush with the guitar and the other one was like a little up, and both of them
Mm.
needed to be like way more up, like because you couldn't play above the 12th fret without getting lots of dead spots. So,
Yeah.
but now it's fixed.
Okay.
So now I like it a lot
Good.
better. Yeah. I still think I probably would prefer a Jazzmaster in the end, but a $300 difference said I prefer the Jaguar.
Yeah. $300 is nice.
Because they usually sell for this is well, actually I paid yen for it, but yeah, they usually go for like 700 to 800. And
Mm.
actually when I had COVID, I was just watching the price go down and down, and when I got to 500, I was like, okay, fuck, I don't want to buy it.
I actually saw a like whatever Facebook and everything has been marketing me just music equipment constantly for
Hmm.
forever, but I did actually see a guitar pedal that was cool. I don't remember the fuck it was.
I don't really trust pedals anymore.
This was like a very like elaborate multi. It was like a thing that does a pitch shifter, but puts the pitch shifts in multiple like
Like an
different stereo
Octavier.
positions.
Mm. Oh, that's weird.
I'm pretty sure I can find it if I just look even a little bit, but
I can't be
or
bothered to do that.
unless I opened it in a private tab and I have oh no,
Yeah, the
Fever Pitch 4 voice pitch shifter pedal. It was like $300, but
yeah,
it looks really cool.
the exact same one I got for 500 is currently within that color is currently
I mean,
selling for there's two, one of them is $850, the other one is $770. So,
Jesus. Yeah, this has like a picture. Oh, it has a screen. Like it has its own fucking screen.
oh,
Like that's how hardcore this
oh,
stupid
wait,
pedal
no, no,
is.
no, no. The other one is a Jazzmaster. So the Jaguar is currently $100 more expensive than the Jazzmaster.
Mm,
Prices are weird. Anyway, it just
I don't
mysteriously
know.
kept dropping and dropping, and then I jumped on it.
Yeah,
So
might as well.
now that it's fixed and it's playable, but that's the thing. Wasn't like they knew it was crap and sent. It was clearly like directly from the California factory.
Hmm.
Even though it's a Mexican Fender, it was postmarked from. Well, the factories are like 50 miles apart from each other. Like they share materials and crap. Like buying a Mexican Fender at this point is like pretty much the same thing as buying an American one, except it's way cheaper.
Hmm. I definitely like I have a couple of friends who are like always ordering like the Chinese ones,
Yeah,
whatever, the
sure.
kind of knockoff stuff.
Yeah, sure.
I'm always like what always happens if I look at those, then I start looking at like, oh, but they make like weird translucent acrylic ones, and then I start thinking about like how acrylic probably can is shit at conducting sound, and then I just back
Oh,
away
you
from
mean
it.
complete off brands? I was thinking of getting a Jazzmaster
Yeah,
style
I mean,
guitar because there's like a 200 buck Bacchus, which is that
yeah,
one's made in China. The company actually,
uh-huh,
the main company builds them like in Matsumoto, which is like the next town over. That's where
huh.
Fender makes their Japanese guitars. So that's where the
I'm sort
Takamine
of,
comes from. The Takamine I got in
huh,
high school actually was made like 50 miles from here.
wild. Yeah, I sort of like if I'm gonna buy another guitar, and that might never happen, but I want one that looks really like strikingly weird or
Yeah.
interesting.
Hey, I would recommend this guy because it's very scummy. Like when you
I mean,
that
that
humbucker
doesn't
is
look
very
weird at all.
scummy.
That looks totally normal. I'm not ruling it out, but I'm talking about like one that is like a color changing LED laser guitar or something.
Oh, that
Like I
looks.
want something that looks like crazy.
I'll send you one that's a little crazier looking. That's a Squire and does not have a tremolo because I don't think you care about a tremolo.
Uh, I don't think I even care about buying a guitar, but
Yeah,
it's like whatever.
I always do.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, I know that's your primary instrument is guitar, and my primary instrument now is the piano roll.
Mm.
Or the keyboard. I mean, I do I like composing on keyboard because all the notes are there. So it's like I can do whatever weird chord I want.
I haven't done much on the keyboard recently. Probably because I haven't been going to the family house as much, and the Garage Band is screwed on my new iPad.
Oh yeah.
That's I have to grab my old one to do music.
I've honestly been working more on podcasts than on music.
Yeah, I've been doing both, but
So
I
Yeah,
was
I mean, I'm saying I'm on like what 10% of your podcasts, 5%, and
oh
I'm not
yeah.
doing that much music at all.
Well,
I'm
I
just like,
instead of using the GarageBand amps, because the my actual tube is too fussy, but I've been using this just to run through, and at first I was like, well, it's like a digital amp, right? Modeling amp. I was like, yeah, but
mhm.
so is GarageBand, so it's not like I'm getting a worse sound. I'm probably getting a better sound with this, you know.
Yeah, you probably would.
You can't
I
mod the
don't
sound as
know.
much though. It doesn't
I haven't
mod as much.
used I haven't used like the last 10 I mean, I haven't used GarageBand since like 2013 or something. I have no idea how good it is now.
Oh,
Might be
I
great.
I've been using it out the wazoo. I was recording everything with GarageBand, using those amps for pretty much all my guitars and basses.
I have like even just the physical mixer I've used with my synths. I'm on like my fourth
Although,
mixer.
although I
Like I
will
keep
say,
changing that.
I probably wasn't getting quite as good a guitar sound as like 2013, 2014 when I was actually doing everything with an analog signal chain.
Yeah.
Like all the way to the computer was analog.
In fact, I mean, I don't even know if the mixer I have now is like made it onto any recordings that you even heard. Like, when was the last time I sent you anything for a podcast? It was like before the tree fell in my house, probably.
Something like that. I guess you
Yeah.
could send me something for this one since I stick a song at the end.
Yeah, maybe if I get around to it.
It doesn't have to be my song.
Uh,
But so far it's
yeah,
been.
I'll get something to you before the final episode.
It's
We're about halfway there.
got to be prisonery though, I guess. No, this is episode 10. We're past the halfway
I
point.
mean, I have synthesizers.
Yeah. But right. Just, like I forgot
Don't
where
make
I
it
was going
like
with
it
that.
won't be like drum and bass.
Like an industrial nightmare or something. Maybe that was not the
Cookie.
best thing. Yeah, cookies are cool. Okay. Um, do they have an? Oh
All
yeah,
right,
I
this
was.
episode is fucked. I mean, so yeah,
Oh,
this is probably going to be like the longest episode of this we do because I like my trivia and my fucking summary are super long.
okay. Well,
So
let's
just be
let's.
ready for that.
I guess go ahead and give it 5 seconds and start it up then.
All right. Welcome to Imprisoned in Prison on the Prisoner podcast.
I think you got in there this week. That's kind of cool. Um,
It's
um.
or was it an
Weren't you, weren't
uh
weren't you the one complaining where I recommended a podcast and you're like, well, they were just making noises
yes, they were.
because we were just doing that.
Anyway,
Yeah. Okay.
but we're gonna stop because this is Imprisoned in Prison on the Prisoner Prison Cast. I'm your host, Mark Malik, and this is your other host.
I'm Matt Commages, the other
That's right.
host. It's your
That's right.
funeral.
Listen to all these noises that are words.
It's your funeral.
It's your funeral.
Your funeral. You're a towel.
Welcome to It's Your
What?
Funeral.
That. Well, wouldn't it be like welcome to your funeral in that case?
Welcome to your funeral, which it's
Mm, it is. Okay. So, you were gonna make this one trivial then. You said you had lots of trivia and lots of summary.
well, this episode,
I'm gonna take a
which
nap
is
then.
our ninth episode. Is
10th.
that correct? 10th episode. It was 11th in production order. Um, was written by Michael Cramoy. He was an American writer born in 1915 who had a relatively short career, most of which consisted of 26 episodes of Dragnet. The Prisoner was actually one of his last writing credits. Our director is Robert
Did he
Asher.
die in 1968?
Actually, he died in like 2000. He
Oh, I
just
guess he just stopped working. Okay.
he died. I remember this. He died on December 11th, 2001.
Okay.
Uh anyway, our director is Robert Asher, a British director who worked mostly as a second unit or assistant director. He worked on such films as She Shall Have Murder and Operation Disaster. According to some of the actors, McGowan got into several shouting matches with Asher and nearly strangled him during a fight scene. Neither or writer, neither our writer nor director returned to work on any Prisoner episodes after this one. Some people say that this was the episode that broke Patrick McGoohan. You
Sure.
notice that he does yell a lot.
Yeah.
Um, Anyway, Darren Nesbitt is our new number 2, a British actor who is often cast as an untrustworthy individual. He also appeared in Softly, Softly and Those Daring Young Men in Their Jaunty Jalopies.
That's another one that should just be combined into one movie.
Maybe it's a good double feature. Nesbitt claims that he was given no information about what this prisoner was about, which explains his confused manner. Annette Andre plays number 50, aka the Watchmaker's daughter. She began her career as a dancer and then moved on to radio, theater, and television work in Australia, then Italy, then England. She also appeared in The Rough with the Smooth and Prisoner, no relation. Wanda
The
Ventham
rough and the
plays
smooth prisoner.
The Rough and the Smooth Prisoner. Yes, that's the sequel to this. No, Prisoner is a series about a women's prison. I don't think it's anything like this at all. Wanda Ventham plays the computer attendant. She later appeared in Run for Your Wife and Absolutely Fabulous, the movie. Nesbitt, Andre, and Ventham are still with us, giving this episode a much higher survival rate than usual. Martin Miller played the Watchmaker. He was born in Austria-Hungary, which is now known as the Czech Republic, and he previously appeared as You Know What Sailors Are, and
What?
You Know,
Okay.
and also Mine Own Executioner. Miller passed away in 1969 as one of the unlucky stars to not survive long after The Prisoner aired. Mark Eden plays number 100, aka the man in the pink jacket. He was a British actor who also appeared in I'll Never Forget What's His Name and Arthur.
So that's his name.
Yep.
His name is Arthur. Okay. Sorry.
Finally.
It's just magical how these titles all work together.
What can I say? I have a gift for running together things that shouldn't be together. Or should they? Finally, Andre von Geigesgem is our retiring number 2, the British actor and director born 1906. He would survive his tenure to appear in The Root of All Evil and Spy.
Does The Root of All Evil end with a question mark?
Yes.
Okay.
And Spy ends with an exclamation point.
Right.
I just found a lot of yeah. Anyway, that's the trivia.
So
pretty crazy here, right? Pretty crazy episode. That's part of the trivia.
Okay. I thought you were just going to start telling us about the episode.
Well, I mean, I might say that I'm going to do that before I do that.
Okay. So do it. Say it.
Okay. Now I'm going to tell you about the episode with words. Number 6 is sleeping when a number 1 yeah. Number 6 is sleeping when a young woman, number 50, walks into his house and wakes him, trying to warn him that an assassination is being planned. He dismisses her warning as yet another plot. Later, number 2 and his staff are observing number 6 and take the opportunity during his Kosho practice to replace his watch with a broken watch, which sends him to the watchmaker to get it repaired. While he's at the watchmaker's, he notices a detonator that's remote controlled and then sees number 50 again, who tells him that she is the watchmaker's daughter and her father is the one conducting the planned assassination. Number 6 decides that the assassination will result in the whole village being punished, so he decides to warn number 2 of the plot. Number 2 tells number 6 that the watchmaker is a jammer who's spreading false assassination rumors, so Control is not worried about it. He tells number 6 to find out the method of assassination, and number 6 tells him to figure it out himself. Later, number 6 and number 50 search the watchmaker's shop and find out his plan is to use a replica of the Great Seal of Office full of explosives to kill number 2 during the Appreciation Day ceremony. Number 6 returns to number 2 to warn him, but then finds a different number 2 there, who apparently is the primary number 2 who's had substitutes in the interim. He shows number 6 a doctored video of him, warning several previous number 2s, but number 6 tells him that it's a fake video and the new number 2 is plotting to assassinate the old number 2. On Appreciation Day, the watchmaker hides in a tower with a detonator. Number 6 and 50 run to stop him and get the detonator from him. They get the detonator from him, but then number 100 tries to stop him, but number 6 takes him out. The seal full of explosives is transferred to the visibly nervous new number 2. Number 6 hands the old number 2 the detonator, telling him it's his ticket out of the village, and he takes the detonator with him on his helicopter ride out. He then congratulates the new number 2 and assures him that he'll have something suitable arranged for his own retirement. Kind of turned into mush there at the
Mm,
end.
that's what happens. Yeah. Guy turned to mush.
I could barely even make sense of this episode enough to write that. This is a
I
rough one.
yeah, I don't know. I didn't write a summary, of course. I rolled through this one. I just sat down, just like hardcore the whole episode. It was fun. It's a stylish episode. It's the most Austin Powersy of the episodes so far.
Well, interestingly, a lot of this was filmed on like studio lots instead of at the actual village. So it's
Oh,
like it has that. You notice it has like much slicker kind of look than a lot of the
yeah,
rest of it.
maybe that's what I'm getting at, because there's a lot more like design. I mean, there's always like real specific design elements in the Prisoner, but I felt there was like more of that because he had like all those primary colored telephones. Those are hip.
Yeah, this is definitely like the closest that I feel like we've gotten to something that feels like a movie. But it's
Number
also
100 is has the coolest suit. So
true. I mean, it's this weird combination of like that a lot of this is being propelled forward because they've really gotten down this whole process. We're at the production number 11. Um, it's two before last week's episode, which was it's almost like last week's the many was it many happy returns last week?
yeah, did he look that disheveled because he had been trying to strangle the director in a fight scene?
Well, it's almost like that one was the come down, and this was sort of the manic peak of the whole thing. I really feel like that, and from what I understand, production number 12 is like one of the most aggressive ones. We haven't gotten to that yet, but
uh, which one is production number 12?
I think that is Hammer
Next week?
into Anvil.
Oh, okay. That sounds right
Um,
because then it's followed by the four ones they did later. So yeah, I think you're right. I
uh,
could open this book of trivia that
I'm
I
going
haven't.
to look and be sure before I say false informations.
Hey, oh, okay. There's like
It's
okay, there's
wrong.
no, it's not wrong. I'm just saying that this
Uh,
book, I was like, oh man, I have this book and you're doing the trivia, but they don't really give much trivia here. The
mm,
only, the only, okay, here's the trivia from the book that comes with my DVDs. Two
mhm.
primary male aides, number two, appear in the story. Number 100, number 22. That's boring. Episode notes: most convoluted of prisoner plots. that's that's in the that's in the booklet here.
I think we can confirm that. Yes.
Off season locations. Okay, only story with an outgoing number two. Appreciation de blah blah blah. Yeah, this trivia is not interesting except for that most convoluted of prisoner plot statement. But that's not really trivia. That's more of a opinion. I mean, well, no, it's a
I
fact, isn't it?
agree. I agree.
Yeah,
There are four number twos in this. There isn't even time for an escape
and
attempt.
a 22.
There's a new martial art.
Yeah. Oh, I like that because it made me think
It
of
was
Discs
great.
of Tron a little
It was
bit.
great. It was
It,
obviously not Patrick McGowan for almost any of it, but
it was like
it was
it was like
great.
an analog Discs of Tron. Yeah, when I saw Patrick McGowan's face, I was like, oh wait, he's actually supposed to be one of the combatants here.
But it's really the plot of this isn't just convoluted, but it doesn't really the entire thing not only doesn't make sense, but it requires it requires number 6 to care whether or not number 2 gets assassinated, which still doesn't even really make sense to me
Yeah, because I feel
because
like our number six of O would just be like, whatever, just do what you're gonna do and get on with it, you know?
like is he just the only secret agent who never killed anybody before? Like it's just so it's such a weird hill to die on or to avoid death on.
Maybe his I don't know, maybe he's just bored. I wrote somewhere in my notes here. I guess Six's plan is just bizarre line readings. That might have been Patrick McGowan cracking, but I did notice not bad line reading, just weird line readings in this.
Yeah, there is a lot of more like, I won't go for it. Ah.
Probably
Yeah,
because he strangled the director right after. Yeah.
he was, yeah, going just losing his mind from working too hard on this show. I mean, it's just pretty. Um,
I
I
mean,
mean,
Bat.
the fun thing, the whatever, if you're gonna call it a theory, the fun way to look at this is they have slowly whittled him down to the point where he actually cares whether number two gets killed or not.
I
Like
think
that's
that's
the fun version.
I think that's kind of how I read it. Like they
I read
they
it
are.
like I read it like he's our hero, and our hero wouldn't just stand by while someone gets murdered.
Yeah, I wrote number six is just spouting the company line now. Whatever it is, I'm against it. You know.
Yeah, that's true. I
So six gets the plan, but then convolutions make him not get the plan. The plan in this one is definitely like, yeah, I don't nobody understands the plan, including the people instigating it.
it really, that thing about the guy who played number two not knowing what the show is about really makes a lot of sense, because I watched those like, what is this guy and the monkeys? Like, what is going on? He was so confused and weirdly like mumbly and soft mumblecore.
I thought he
I
had
mean,
some Fred Armisen energy, so maybe it's kind of like an
oh
awkward
God.
Portlandia skit sort of vibe.
Well, I kind of liked him, and I hate Fred Armisen, so it kind of worked for me. I
I
felt different. It felt like, remember what was it, LSD from the producers? That guy,
but that guy's awesome.
the guy
Yeah.
who played Hitler. Yeah, I think he kind of reminded me of that
I
guy.
never I never watched any of the modern iterations of the producers because I heard they didn't put LSD in.
Yeah, you got to put LSD in, man.
Yeah, I
What
know.
are they
That's what
doing?
I'm saying.
Were
Um,
you there when? Were you at that Yola Tango show where they covered like that song that he did during his audition in the producers?
I was at their dial-a-song thing, and but I don't remember if they played
Oh
that or
man,
not.
I think you went to the one show I missed of theirs, but yeah, they did it, and then Ira Kaplan like crowd surfed in the middle of it. It was amazing.
I
It
saw
was
them four times. That's the band I saw the most, but I think I'd remember them playing the LSD song, the Love Power song. So
the last time I saw them, people were talking over them most of the time, and I was enraged, but they were not phased by it at all and seemed to be very happy to be there. So I was like, man, I would be so mad if people, because if you saw them at like Variety Playhouse, it was probably everyone was respectful and quiet.
yeah, I saw them at Variety Playhouse and the record store doing an acoustic set. So
Ah,
I think you were there.
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't. I've seen them. I don't know how many times I've seen them. I
Um.
think the band I've seen the most though is Man or Astroman.
Well, they're a local group. Yeah. Um.
True.
I do think I'd spend at least some of my free time the same way as number six, where they're just watching them walk around the village aimlessly and then climbing the bell tower. I was like, that seems like something I do.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of fun. They were just like, let's dissect his routine, trying to predict what he's doing so that we can make sure that he doesn't buy wait that our computer is predicting whether or not he buys candy. Even talking about this plot makes my head like explode.
Isn't that what Google's supposed to do now? Like targeted advertising? Like in 1967, you needed a lady to do it. Like she is Google, right? But
They're actually
now,
doing a better job. Google keeps trying to sell me things that have nothing to do with me or that I clicked on once.
but sometimes you get something, why am I getting an ad for this? And 2 days later, like, oh, that's why.
That
So,
hasn't happened to me.
okay,
For
that
most part, targeted ads have been very like they're either like something I have no interest in, or it's something where it's like laughably unaffordable, or it's a Kickstarter which I'm just not gonna fall for ever again.
no, I remember like maybe 2 years ago getting a targeted ad for something about back pain. I'm like, huh? And then 2 days later, I had a backache. But that could have also been like maybe like I guess seeded in my mind.
Coincidence?
Yeah.
Yes, I think
And
it's a coincidence. Maybe it saw you hunching over.
and then I saw this ad like a month ago where it was like all these screwed up nails. I was like, but now my pinky nail's screwed up. So who knows?
Oh no.
I mean, not massively, but it's just like
That
weird
that
that
always I I'm insanely resentful for whenever I see like a toenail fungus ad. It makes me enraged that
Yeah, I was
it
trying to read
fills me
something, and
with
then
rage that
and
they'll put that on the internet.
between every two paragraphs of this article I'm reading, they'd have like another one of those. So yeah,
Ugh.
yeah, it
Yeah, I
wasn't
just
it was annoying, but yeah, I just that really stuck out to me in this episode, that they're kind of doing that, but without the idea of digital algorithms. It's just this lady and this computer, you know. I guess that is
well,
a
this
digital
is
algorithm.
actually one of the earliest known uses of the word jammer or jamming.
Oh, okay. That yeah, I was just like jamming, sure. So, um,
Like I think Negative Land takes credit for it, but they weren't around for quite a while after this.
yeah,
I
okay,
think they take credit for the term culture jamming, but it's still pretty close, like the
right,
usage of it.
right. Um, oh, after he goes on his walk and they and buys his bag of sweets, which I don't know, people could probably predict a lot of what I'm doing, especially if they have a spy computer with them. But
Yeah.
that Discs of Tron trampoline game thing, you called it a martial art, like a new martial art.
It was invented for the it'll show up again. It shows up twice.
Okay, that just explains the
Cook show.
soundtrack, because they were playing that like
Yeah, it was
vaguely
like
Eastern
dun
side
dun
music.
dun dun
What's
dun
what is
dun dun
this?
dun dun dun.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just so like
and
I don't know if it's racist, but it's in the
that's
ballpark.
that's what I wrote in my notes. Oh, let me see what I specifically did. Oh, I put, is this music racist? I guess not, because this trampoline game doesn't make any sense. Do you want
I
to
put it.
play the trampoline game?
My notes just say Asian music is playing to let you know it is a martial art,
Okay,
and
I
then under
didn't.
that I said stunt doubles are doing great.
See, I didn't register that that was supposed to be a martial art. I just thought it was like a thing. That's why, like, the music did not lead me um to that
I mean, they were
explanation
they were kind of they were obviously
conclusion.
sparring in some way, right? Did you think they were like cooperating or just what did you think they were doing it for?
For
It seemed
fun.
like they were
It's like when they
fighting
play Parisi Squares on Star Trek, or that thing Riker does with his dad. Like, maybe
or
that is
like
Parisi
or
Squares. I
run
don't
along
remember.
home.
Yeah, yeah. Oliver Rain.
All right.
Okay. I know we just made several people angry, by the way, by screaming that. You're welcome. Uh,
Run along home, listeners.
and then there's like some guitar in the clock shop. That was weird. Some more music there was like, what is this here for? Because in the back of the clock shop, there's like, I was about to say cock shop. Okay, in the back of the clock shop, there's like a like acid guitars. Like, what?
Yeah, and also so
This
are all watchmakers German? Is that required?
yes, he's Swiss. He's Swiss.
Oh yeah, Swiss. Okay.
He's neutral,
Close.
except if
Okay.
except for his
He's the
assassination
least neutral
deeds.
person in this episode.
I guess he's German then.
Uh, I what do you think would have happened if he'd gotten
Austrian?
away with blowing up the old number two? Like, I feel like nothing would have happened.
Yeah, that was another weird number six thing. He's like, they're going to punish the village if number two, everyone in the village if number two gets assassinated. I was like, well, they're kind of already doing that anyway. They pull you out of your bed in the middle of the night and give you like psychotropic drugs, you know?
Yeah, it's such a weird. It's just one of those. I guess you need. What's the version of a MacGuffin when it's like
McDonald's.
you need a McDonald's.
They need a McDonald's in the village, yes.
You need McDonald's.
And the
You need
menu would be,
McDonald's to punish you.
and the McDonald's would be in the village font. That'd be awesome.
Maybe we can talk McDonald's into just making a special McDonald's to
Like a pop
like
up.
commemorate the 60th anniversary of 70th anniversary of the prisoner.
Have you heard about the 60th? Have you heard about
That's already happened.
the fake commercial McDonald's?
Oh wait, no, it hasn't. No.
Yeah, it's a little village. Like, it's like in California. It's like they're across the street from each other. Like, one has a play place and one doesn't, but they don't have food. They're in the middle of like a big industrial section of town, and they're just there for commercial filming.
I know there's a hotel like that that's in like the in Texas somewhere. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't, but just to do filming.
Yeah, it's not a full size hotel and it's just for I can't remember what it's there
Well,
for. It's like
the confusing thing
Hilton
about
or
these is
something.
I believe they are full size McDonald's because well, McDonald's aren't that big, so you don't really need to cut cost on that. But yeah, they're non functioning McDonald's across. There's two of them across the street from each other or something. It's really crazy.
Yeah, I'd never. I want to go to the what Area 51 McDonald's.
Oh, that sounds fun. What about like a McDonald's on an aircraft carrier? That'd be interesting. Do they have a
It has to
McDonald's on an
have it,
aircraft?
right?
I'm sure they do somewhere. I mean, they show up in weird places, right? Um,
Mm.
hey, one thing we've been talking now for almost 30 minutes about the prisoner here, and I'm like, one thing I haven't worked out, and we don't always talk about. Did you like this episode?
Yes, I
Okay,
did like it. I,
I,
it's really one of my favorite episodes, even though it's just complete nonsense. But
okay,
I do
that's
like this kind of thing.
that's where I landed too, because we were like, this doesn't make sense. This is so convoluted. Why is this music here? I'm like, but I like it. It's
I
like
do
really,
really like it. It's
I think this should be
yeah.
the first episode of The Prisoner you show someone. Well, people
I
like us would be like, oh yeah,
I feel like if you try really hard to sell somebody on The Prisoner and they won't just watch it from the beginning, this is the one you show them, right?
yeah,
Like just
yeah.
ah!
Because I mean, it makes you really. This is just 1 week. I mean, it's like a Simpsons episode where you're like, what, that, and that are all in the same episode.
Yeah, imagine not knowing about like whatever the number two is being replaced, and you get handed this whole thing where it's like a number two is replaced with an old number two, and then he shows you two other number twos. It I do you is this the first number two? I kind of feel like maybe he was there, like he was there before number six even got there.
I think that's the
I think that's
intimation.
the
Like
idea,
we
right?
haven't, we haven't. I mean, we haven't seen them before. We have a returning number two in the final episode, but it's not this guy.
Nope. He was
So
the one from I think three or four.
you know why I
It's
didn't
in
say
one of
which one he
those
is from? You know why I
because you don't
didn't bring
know.
that up? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
You can listen to my notes from some my trivia from some other episode, and I knew it at some point. Anyway, that information has been replaced with
the
Kosho
stylish yellow phone.
bombs that are metals. And I absolutely and one of my favorite things in the whole episode is just the end of that ceremony where he just pulls down the little curtain and it just is a plaque that says achievement.
I'll have to ask Luke if like English mayors are given large like disco medallions when they take office. I'm like, is that a thing?
It's like every so it's like if every number two leaving gets this ceremony, have they done this like at least what 10 times now? It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. This must be like a weekly event at the village.
Yeah.
But this is the first time there's been assassination. It was all fun and games up to now, but now we have the psychotic neutral clockmaker.
I love that like number 50 sees the thing and is immediately like, oh, I recognize that. It's the off what is it? The no, it's
I don't
the seal of the,
of
just talk
the
over me
village,
until I see it.
the village seal.
It's called the office of the seal of the seal of office of the office of the now I'm just making sounds. I've turned into what I hate. It's too
Okay.
late.
Yeah. Well, they do say the motto of the show right in the middle. I wrote down the quote where we gain from confusion.
Yeah, isn't it really extremely weird how the old number two is just like, well, I'm going to die. It's like that is really weird. Like you don't understand we don't fail. So basically, imagine working for somebody where it's like you are so confident in the ability of your employer that if you find out you're supposed to die, then you just accept your death.
Yeah, I don't know. My note is the last number two was quite crap. May as well recast him in the middle of the episode, but he didn't know what he was doing. He actually didn't know what he was doing, so that's amazing. Okay,
It's
again,
the
I know.
Great Seal of Office. That's what it's called.
Oh, that almost makes sense. I wrote
She
Great
sees
Seal
it and
number
it's just
two.
Great Seal of Office. It's the Great Seal of Office, of course.
Yeah, that
Like
makes sense.
imagine seeing something and knowing what it's called. Imagine seeing the Great Seal. Like I don't know. I don't even know what a Super Bowl ring looks like.
Oh, but a few weeks ago, number six could not enter the village office. It had like the electric shock seal or something, right?
Yep.
Where in this one he just barges directly into number two's office, like, oh, willy nilly.
Maybe it's because it's part of the plan this time, so they
I guess it
make
is.
him.
Yeah, there's always politics within the politics.
It is convenient that you could explain away literally anything in this show. Be like, oh, they programmed him to do that. They
Yeah.
programmed him to go in to be able to go in or not to be able to go in.
Well, yeah, they got it down to a bag of candy, don't they? So, okay, let's work
Yeah.
out the plan. This plan is being instigated by the whose plan is just the clockmaker? Is he a
It's the new number two's plan, I think, to kill the old number two because reasons.
but he's
Isn't
like
it? Isn't that it?
confused,
Isn't the new number two like specifically manipulating the clockmaker to kill? Because number 100 wants the clockmaker to do the thing.
right? So,
So
but then the plan is beyond that to mess with number six. But they've quit asking him why he resigned. Like that's like gone out the window in the past few
I mean,
episodes.
well, the last episode was entirely him escaping, getting out, and this one is nothing about him escaping. So
he helps the other guy escape basically, right? Because number two is stuck there
I
too, and
guess he could just have taken the detonator and be like, "Take me out of here, or I'll blow him up."
why not? Because well, he's a
But that
company
wouldn't
man
make
now,
any
isn't he?
sense, right?
He's a company man now. He's
Yeah, it
trying
wouldn't
to
make any
help out,
sense.
prevent assassinations. That's thing at this point is like I know, like he knows it's a scheme from the beginning, but he like still goes like that's why I'm like maybe he's just bored.
I don't know if he knows it's a scheme. I think he was convinced that it wasn't because he was actually bothering to go and tell number two, "Hey, someone's gonna kill you."
That was weird. Again, why bother with that? I'm gonna say boredom, or yeah, like you said, he's actually been worn down a bit,
Yeah, they've
both
just
both
confused him. The plot is so
actor and
convoluted
character.
that they convoluted him into doing things that go against his own interest.
Right, right, exactly. Like, but it's not like he's acting out of character. It's just he's acting bizarrely.
Yeah, this has been a thing with this show though, is like occasionally you really see him kind of just settling into life in the village as just like a guy who lives in the village.
Well, yeah, if you're there long enough, that's gonna happen, right?
Yeah, it's pretty weird. Like I wonder if he'll even want to leave at the end.
Mm.
Hmm.
But yeah, yeah. So that's but it is like you have to observe that progression, right? They don't really say anything about it, you know? Because a lot of shows would be like, "Hey, you're acting funny these days," or "Gee, you wouldn't have done that in the past," you know. But he doesn't have any friends. That probably helps. So there's no one to observe that.
I mean, he's friends with the guy who told him about jammers, I guess.
Yeah, but
He
how?
and the
Okay,
guy
yeah,
who he beat at chess.
yeah, okay, yeah. He does go play with a few people, I guess. So they seem more like acquaintances, though, right?
Yeah, I mean they're other prisoners. I'm sure if you're in prison somewhere, you're gonna make some friends.
Right. So yeah, see, we just talked about what was the plot or the scheme. I mean, what was the scheme for 5 minutes, and I don't think we've really ironed anything out.
Nope, there wasn't even a funeral in this episode.
Well, could it's your funeral because there's an assassination.
Yeah, I know.
It's your funeral because this
He
is where
didn't
Patrick
say
McGowan's
it would be your
psyche
funeral.
shatters in real life.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an elegy for his psyche.
Yeah.
I won't do it. Yeah, he's just screaming it like that he won't do the plot of the show that he wants to do.
Yeah, sure, why not? That makes sense to me. Okay.
There was almost no scream. There was almost no talking last week, and now there's just like a lot of punctuated screaming
And
and
weird gnarled
trampolines.
line reads. Yeah. Hey, do you think you
Yeah.
could do the flip off a trampoline?
Nope.
Okay. I think it looked he made it look so easy. I mean, the stunt guy.
I mean, I would be a little afraid to even practice it now, but maybe I could. I don't know.
I wouldn't
I
try it
wouldn't.
now, but I used to be able to do front flips on a slight incline. Like if the ground was completely flat, I don't think I would have tried. But if there was a slight incline, I could do front flips.
I'm extremely afraid of brain damage. It's like my greatest fear. So I've always been afraid to be upside down.
Yeah, I
Like
wouldn't
I
have the
hit my head.
I wouldn't have the guts to try it now for sure. But yeah, I just remember doing that in university a lot because it entertained people.
Yeah, if I'd started practicing as a kid, I probably would feel differently. But I'd have not spent a lot of time upside down except on roller coasters.
Well, you only spend a moment or two upside down on a roller coaster.
Yeah, but I mean, I would ride one like 5 times in a row if I could,
You
if
don't
I
sleep.
can.
You don't sleep like Batman.
No,
Mm.
not yet.
Michael Keaton's Batman, of course. It was Keaton Batman that did that, right?
Did he sleep? I don't remember
Maybe
that,
it's
but yeah,
Christian
maybe.
Bale. I don't remember. There's so
That
many
sounds like
Batman.
some. That sounds like something Tim Burton would do.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you sleep upside down. You maniac.
Are we gonna get all the Batman in one place? That needs to happen. I'll give Val Kilmer a
I
pass at this
don't
point. He shouldn't have been
care.
Top Gun Maverick.
Like, I mean, they've really messed up.
I mean, he should
They've
have, but he shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying?
they've they've really messed up. They put too much. I don't know. They burned out superheroes like so badly. Like everything that James Gunn said he's gonna do sounds great. Like he's gonna do a bunch of monster stuff and do a
Mm.
swamp thing.
I just want a movie like like where all the Batmen show up at the same time somewhere.
I mean, don't they do? They kind of do that on their CW TV shows a lot, don't they? Don't they like have like multiple actors? I think they've had like all the Supermans that are
But
alive,
I think he played someone else.
Supersmen,
Yeah, because they had the guy that
Supersmen.
was in Superman Returns show up, but I think he played a different role.
Well, he did, but he also played that Superman again.
Okay. Anyway, you can. I gave up in the middle of the third season of The Flash. It never looked back.
Yeah, that was a good time to give up because I gave up at the end of the third season. I honestly hated myself for watching most of the third season.
Once was it his girlfriend disappears or comes back or something, and then they took a break for a few weeks. It was like the holiday because it's network TV, and once they started
Yeah,
airing again, I forgot that show existed because I didn't care anymore. I guess, but I liked
you're
it up to that point.
you're better off. Like from what I've heard, it only got worse after season three. And like the thing is, the first season of that show is so good. But I also read somewhere that apparently CW's thing is to put all these like veteran writers and showrunners on the first season of their shows, and then
Mm.
they move them to whatever the new thing is afterwards.
Ah,
It's like if
okay.
you think about it, like Supergirl season two was really good. Um, I guess Legends of Tomorrow is sort of the exception where it was still good, but I also forgot to watch that too after a while.
Yeah, I think I saw like one episode of that and was like, I don't care about any of these people.
They took the Doctor Who guy off of it, and I was like, well, okay.
Mm.
Uh, kind of, that guy was kind of the best thing about the show, kind of.
But
Mm.
not like The Prisoner where you change the entire cast except for the butler and number six every week.
Yeah. Yeah, you get the butler and the supervisor in this episode. It was such a jam-packed,
Yeah.
full star power.
I wonder if this turned out well. It could see there's the Jim Cassiavell thing where they had on Person of Interest where they had to quit writing fight scenes for his character because he was kicking the crap out of the other actors.
Wait,
So
what did he play?
Person of Interest on the TV
I've never
show.
seen it.
It's a pretty good show, but I heard that I think Luke told me actually, but yeah, like he was like during fight scenes getting too rough with the other actors, so they had to quit writing fight scenes for him. And I'm like, I wonder if that's what's going on with Patrick McGowan then. but it's
Jesus,
but it's his show.
literally.
Yeah, it's his show, so they can't. He's in charge of the scripts, right? So he'll have a fight scene if he wants it, and then strangle the director.
Oh man. So hmm.
Sorry, are you looking up the person of interest? Interesting
I
information.
think I kind of messed up describing this episode that the production number is actually number 8 and not 11.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how
Oh,
I messed that up. I guess I was just cramming all this information so hard. So
again,
can you edit this episode and then take every time I say number, like the number 11, just replace it with 8?
hell no.
Okay. Anyway, production
As we said,
number 8.
there's an argument that except for the first one and the last one, there's an argument for every episode being a different number in the running.
Well, that means that A, B, and C and the general were produced after this,
Okay.
as
They're not
well as
as nuts as this one though.
nope,
Again,
nope.
I think
This
at least
shows
it,
up as number 11 a lot
um,
in the episode orders and towards the end also.
okay. At least until we get to those last four episodes, I do feel like the order we're going is an intensity ramping up, which I like because this is definitely the most highest dose of insanity so far, and it doesn't even have the MK Ultra thing really. It's a lot of little Manchurian candidate editing, I guess, but
It's
nobody
a
actually gets
perfect.
brainwashed.
This is perfect to go after Many Happy Returns. Like
Mm.
this is exactly what you want. It's like after the quiet just hit the ground being crazy.
Maybe that's it. Like in the order we're watching, he's kind of resigned that he's back in the last one. So now he's like, well, I'm here. I guess I'll get involved.
Yeah.
Warn people
So
that they're going to get killed.
so I hope if you're listening to this that you've like already tweeted at me that that I was wrong, and then you
Because
can feel stupid that I figured out that I'm stupid before you did.
but it depends on if they tweeted you already. Except look at
You think they
your
would just
Twitter.
stop in the middle?
Look at your Twitter. Do you have anything?
This isn't live, is it? Oh God, what
Well,
have
if
we done?
if I'm just saying, like, if they're really pissed about it, they can tweet you now as we're
Well,
recording this.
the funny thing is, I don't even know how to use Twitter.
Okay, cool. Are we on Twitter?
Yeah, we're at the Prisoner Pod on Twitter.
I guess that could
Wait,
be is that a plug? Are we finished? This is a
are
confusing
we?
episode too. I don't
It's
know.
your funeral.
It was just
I
such a
don't know.
wonderful segue.
We don't have to be finished,
We
but
don't. That's my point. Like
let's
if you
think about it. This,
okay,
let's think about it some more. What are we doing?
let's think about if we're finished or not. Oh, are you checking your Twitter there? Okay.
I'm just making sure I'm giving the right address. It's the Prisoner Pod.
Oh, okay, that's good. Actually, though, I think I did pretty much mention all of my entertaining notes and observations that I at least wrote ahead of time. So,
Well,
I,
the number 2 is I was getting some serious Palpatine vibes from old number 2. That's about all I have left.
oh, oh, yes. I after the bell tower, I forgot that he gets to water ski and have cafe coffee before 9 a.m. So I'm like, okay, is the village really that bad? Except
I
that
like
I
that
guess
they
I
were
guess you have to wake up at 6 a.m. So that kind of sucks.
I like that they cut to like showing him doing crazy like swinging around a pole like exercise. Like this is one of the only episodes where you really see number 6 doing like a bunch of superhuman athletic stuff, which you have to assume that he can do.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I do break with him there. I don't want to go to his jungle gym, pretty much literal
Ah.
jungle gym. I guess
Well, it's like
forest
it's
gym.
important to remember how incredibly powerful he is.
Right, right. If he punches you, it's probably gonna break your nose at least.
And the most powerful thing of all is that he wants not anyone to be killed.
Mm. He should want everyone to die.
He wants everyone to live. That's what makes him powerful. Is
Right.
he does not want someone to be assassinated.
The power of life. Yes.
That makes him powerful.
So we could say it's a life affirming episode then.
It is the definition of a life affirming episode. I mean, again, contrasting it with last week's Many Happy Returns, crushingly depressing episode if you get down to it. Imagine you'd go through all that and then somebody just owns your car and your house now.
Oh, I was thinking of when he just gets plopped out of the plane all
That's just
willy
the end
nilly.
of it. I mean, all
Yeah.
of it is sad. It's like, I mean, aside from the only thing that's not sad about it is that he gets out, but like everything he experiences is sad.
He gets a sandwich.
I mean, he does get a nice like kind of glow up from the lady who turns out to be number two, who now owns his car and his house.
Well, yeah, yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah,
But and a
yeah,
sandwich.
I guess we are finished with this. So maybe you already said the Twitter correctly, and someone would have to go back 5 minutes to hear it again if they
I
need it
can
again.
I can correct myself all day long. Hey, this was number 8 in production order. We can find us on Twitter at The Prisoner Pod or at Facebook at The Prisoner Pod. It's imprisoned in prison, the prisoner prison cast. If
I
you'd
think you
like
got
to
it right this
support,
time.
I can do this, okay? I except for the production order number. Um If you'd like to support this and other fine podcasts, you can find us at patreon.com/podcastio. Throw us a few bucks a month to pay our hosting bills. We really appreciate it. You can also find Matt and Luke's Sci-Fi Sanctuary for your sci-fi movie needs, or Luke Loves Pokemon for your Pokemon needs. Occult Disney, is that what it's called now?
Yeah,
Occult Disney for your
for your
occult Disney needs. I think I've done this joke before, actually. Just
you
calling
have
everything needs.
you have, but
Well,
people need what they need. You can't always
uh,
get you one, but if you try sometime, you just might
get
find you'll get something else.
something called Your Funeral. Anyway, wait, game show, a game show about games, Monster Mash, a monster show about Monster Hunter.
I think you're finished.
Twi Time Enough podcast for the Twilight Zone.
Oh, we didn't say that yet. Okay, that's cool. Now you are just saying words though, more or less. I don't.
More and less are both words. Yes, you're
That's
correct.
yes, yes. I know. I think I know what words are. Snarklamblit.
This is the part where I've messed up enough things that I'm just going to try to sound really smart for the rest of the podcast. Good evening.
See you next week.
Be seeing you for your funeral.
Okay, there you go.
God damn it.
I just thought I'd give you 30 seconds to sound. No, I didn't give you 30 seconds to sound smart. That's great. Okay.
No, that's good. Yeah, I should have been cut. You should have cut me off before that. Or I guess you can. Oh God.
I should cut you off
You
on the trivia. Well, I kind of did. I
should
just
have
started
cut me
playing
off at the
guitar.
beginning. Yeah, you just put that over it.
Well, I had to touch it because I still look at it and feel like it's got dead spots, but it doesn't. So that was exciting.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I figure this probably will be our longest episode of this podcast, aside from maybe the last
Yeah.
episode.
Well,
Who
okay.
knows? I
Yeah,
don't know yet.
they run pretty consistent timing wise, actually.
Just know that number one is number six is number one. I don't know what
Time
anything
enough's
else.
the one. The occult Disney one weirdly times out the same every week. That's kind of bizarre.
That is weird. That's spooky.
It's always like just around 1:30. That's I guess that's also the longest one I do. But
Well,
look,
that's weird. You did a thing. I guess this has happened a couple of times where like you kind of the connection kind of drops, but then it says the things you say show up really fast. Does that make
oh
sense?
yeah. Well,
Like you kind of
uh,
then you everything you said come up really fast. Like that.
you now you're doing it. Okay.
I did it on purpose, but that's like what you came through as.
Yeah, these are let's see. We 48 minutes 37, 47, 40, 46, 44. This one will probably be like 50, right? So
I don't know. When did
it's
we actually start? It's 7:45.
I think we started about 55. So, yeah. Just done. So it's actually it
Hmm.
is one of the longer ones, but it still times out, I think,
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's
pretty
right. We
much
did
in the
have a little delay.
yeah. So I yeah. Anyway, might as well do the next one next Tuesday, and if that's I wanted to do Labyrinth with Andrew, but
Oh,
Luke's like it's Valentine's morning, and he's got his new girl, I guess. So
yeah. Good for
I
him.
I thought on a work day he might be available. Also, I didn't even think about the date. I was just like, it's Tuesday morning, right? So we have to
Yeah,
delay
because in
Labyrinth a
Japan,
bit
isn't
more.
it like the girls give you chocolates?
Yes, but I guess he's
So yeah,
probably I guess he's probably planning to be in Tokyo like Tuesday morning and then coming back in time for work is my guess.
Oh, she's Tokyo. That's right. That's why he's always in Tokyo and not able to do podcasts.
Yeah. He's basically I'm not around on weekends anymore. So we haven't done one of the hill climbs for a while. I think early
Ah,
November's last time we did that. Oh, Maddie comes out almost every Monday and we do the same thing. We just don't make podcasts because he don't want to make podcasts.
ah. Well,
He'd
yeah.
probably be
I figure
entertaining
if
on a podcast.
I figure I would have heard him by now if he wanted to do podcasts because you guys have been
Exactly.
talking about him for like 2 years or
Yeah,
three
yeah, yeah,
years.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, because he's the guy that usually comes out Mondays now. So
Yeah, I'm trying to like write the game. We need to do the game show at some point, the American one, and then I'm trying to like write a quiz for those guys. But it's like every time I catch up on their podcast, they escalate it so much that I feel like I have to like try and take it further because like the most recent one, Luke did like three personalities. It's like what the fuck, dude?
yeah, I'm pretty far behind on that one. Like I stopped listening to I don't listen to the Occult Disney one or the Sci-Fi Sanctuary ones anymore. Like
I mean, I should listen to the Occult Disney one because I'm sure everything you guys are watching I've seen, but it's like there are so many podcasts in general. Like I
yeah.
try to definitely keep up on Twilight Zone. I keep up on this one just to know what to say in the social media posts,
Mm-mm-mm.
basically, because well, it's getting, I mean, I'm sure we're catching up, but like the ones when I didn't remember anything about the first couple that we recorded to the point where I think I repeated some of the things I said because I forgot that I'd said them before.
Right. That's normal on a podcast. I was
Yeah.
listening the last week. The 5 timer award where you've brought up the same story for the 5th time in the podcast. And I was listening to one yesterday where like, you're about to get the 5 timer award just for this episode.
Oh my God.
Because he kept
I was
talking
like,
about well, I don't remember, but I think it was like he brought it up 2 times and then got cut off or like they got distracted down a tangent. So he's bringing up again. He's like, but I never got to make my point.
the thing I was most embarrassed about was that I realized that that story about how Wesley Snipes acted on the set of Blade 3, I told it in both like the first episode of The Prisoner and the Dracula episode where I'm like, God
Oh,
damn, that's such a
that's fine.
specific thing. It's such a
Those are
specific thing though to bring up twice.
Yeah, but those are two different podcasts. If it's on different
I know.
podcast feeds, and it's fine. I think
I know, but it's just like, oh God.
it's when you do in the
I,
same podcast that it's like, oh, is that okay? Especially if it's
it's
and if you do in the same episode, it's even wackier.
that's almost like that was almost in the realm of like, hey, did you know this thing? You know what's interesting?
Wesley
Wesley
Snipes.
Snipes was a jackass on the set of Blade 3. Uh, yeah, well, anyway, but yeah, the I think I would be more invested in the game show than you are just because I've played a lot of the games they talk about
Yeah, because I
or
think one of the
or
reasons
read
I
about.
after the first 10 episodes, they start getting a lot more laser specific on stuff. So I'm just like, huh?
Mm.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about anymore. Like when you want to go, like, what are the name of the tetrinos? That's great, but
It was false. Did it
it
did
it,
I don't
it was
did I
false
like
too. But
I swear I think I told Luke that, but I don't remember.
yeah,
Like I think that came up.
I
Like
think it
he
did
brought it
too.
up again where I was like, that's actually a hoax
Yeah.
or a
Anyway,
Photoshop.
something like that's still fun, right? I can follow that.
Yeah.
But when it's
Yeah.
like the weapons and like Elden Ring, I'm gonna glaze over.
Well, the thing is, like, I've played about 10 hours of Elden Ring. I don't know what anything's fucking called in that game.
Yeah.
I played
So
40 hours of Pokemon. I don't remember what most of the Pokemon are called. Yeah, it's just like I don't have that kind of a brain. But so it's kind of like it depends, but mostly it's like I read this thing a while ago and it's like really kind of upsetting how accurate it was. Where it's like after you turn 40, you end up reading more game news than you do actually playing games, and it's kind of true. So it's like a lot of times they're talking about games that I know about but have never played. Like
right.
I haven't owned a PlayStation since like 2006. Yeah, it's like I have a PC. I play weird shit.
I'm way farther back on the gaming. I mean, I'm down to like
Oh
playing
shit.
casual games on my iPad.
You can play something new. It came out for iPad and iPhone. Download Vampire Survivors. Have you heard
No,
of Vampire Survivors?
no.
Do not look anything up about it. It's free. Download that fucking game and play it. It
Okay.
made a lot of best of 2022 game lists.
Uh-huh.
It's just like
You
a
just said don't
cheap.
look anything up.
Don't look anything up. Just download it and play it. You'll love it. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
It's really fun. I've played it for like 60 hours or something.
Okay, cool. I'll do that. I did cut off today, but yeah, let's
Word.
next if you got your next Monday night, let's do something there. I don't know why I'm
Next
trying to
Monday
point
night? You
this
said
time.
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday for me, that's why.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, Monday's fine.
Okay.
Totally.
I mean, maybe we can even do the if you want, we could do that game show. We do the next prisoner.
Well, I need to. The other thing is like, I know I like talked about inviting a couple of my friends, and then you had Andrew roped in as well. So is it gonna be like fucking weird if we have like five contestants on this?
I don't know.
All
Five
right.
contestants,
Yeah, that's what we were doing, right?
one
Should I
host,
narrow it down? One host,
one
five contestants.
I thought it was one host, four contestants.
It's usually three.
No, no, I'm talking about what we're gonna do.
Oh, wait. I have
One host.
Chelsea, Jeff, Andrew, and you. Okay, that's four. You're right.
That's reasonable.
Okay, that's not
They've
too
done a
weird.
few episodes like that before, so
I think they have, yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I
basically, I was gonna, I was gonna, I was gonna play Captain N, the Game Master. You remember that show?
no. Oh, barely. Does
Bro,
this have
it's
something to do
Captain
with the?
N, the Game Master. It's like completely fucking irrelevant
Yeah.
reference now. So, dude, it's Captain N, the fucking Game Master, bro.
Anyway, we'll work out what to do next week because it could be the next prisoner, it could be that if people are
I'll
available.
yeah,
Maybe a little
I'll
short
put a
notice, I
group
guess.
message out. I'll put a group message out. My one friend might not even. I mean, she's been kind of unreliable and has a baby, but whatever.
Okay,
We'll
then we
see
can
what
do it with three
happens.
contestants. That's fine too.
Whatever happens, we'll get some people. So
Okay, I'll catch
go
you
in.
later then.
All
Oh,
right,
I
later.
guess I'll stop the recording for